Good morning, everyone. It's Karen Hooley, and I hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. It's March 2nd, Ash Wednesday, and today is Live with Karen on YouTube. So I'm really excited to see you guys. I apologize that I am an hour late. As you can see from my forehead, I went to Ash Wednesday Mass this morning and got my ashes, and I was a little worried because they changed the time on me. It was supposed to be at 12 and I'm sorry, 8 a.m. Pacific, and they changed it to 8:20. But fortunately, Mass was still out on time, so I was able to get here and do the things I needed to do before I went live. For those of you who are watching for the very, very first time, I just wanted to let you know first that if you want to learn more about me, you can go to my website at karenhooley.com. Everything there is to know about Karen Hooley and Karen Hooley Designs, the patterns, the classes, the books I write, things like that, they're all there. So make sure you check that out. And while you're there, make sure you subscribe to the newsletter. Newsletter subscribers always get 25% off new release patterns, discounts on new books and other things, as well as they usually get the news first before I share anything here even. So make sure you subscribe to the newsletter. If you want to go to the newsletter right off the bat, this is my link, and I apologize. I've been like wolfing down food, so if I have a little weird sound coming from me, it's because I literally just wolfed down a little bit of food after I got home. So I apologize, but this is the subscribe link. If you go directly there, the first thing that'll happen is you'll get a free pattern right off the bat. And then you'll learn a little bit more about me, and then you'll be on my newsletter. So make sure you do that. Also, if you're not watching this on YouTube, you're probably either watching this on my blog or you're watching it on Rumble. And this is my YouTube channel. Make sure you check it out. I created a special pretty, they call it a pretty link, so that it's something easy to remember. So if you want to go there, and make sure you hit the subscribe button and also hit the thumbs up on this video, I would really, really appreciate it. It helps with the algorithms. And also make sure that you use the bell to get notifications so you know when I go live next time and when I upload new videos. I'm planning to upload a video next week. I'll talk about that in just a little bit, but I wanted to let you know to do that as well. If you're not watching on Rumble, this is my Rumble channel. Rumble is growing by leaps and bounds for me, even though I'm not super active over there. I just have, I actually have a software now that allows it to automatically upload this live stream to Rumble. So it's usually the next day that you'll see it on Rumble. But make sure you check it out, because if you're not a YouTube fan and you're watching this on my blog, you can go to Rumble and see it as well. For those of you who don't follow me on Facebook, this is my Facebook page. I'm not super active right now there, but I do have a Facebook page if you want to get information, so you can check that out. And also make sure you follow me on Instagram, and at Karen Hooley is my Instagram handle. So make sure you check that out as well. Just so you guys know, before I go to the chat room, as far as social media is concerned, from right now until April, probably April 18th, the 17th is Easter. I will be off of social media. I will not be accessing social media. You will see some pre-scheduled things because I do have things going on this month, and I want to make sure you guys know about them, but I won't be actively answering questions. In fact, if you try to message me on any of those, it will tell you to go to my website and send me an email through my contact form, because I am not even getting messages from Instagram or Facebook. So I will continue to be here on YouTube. I'm planning to use that time to really start working on getting YouTube going, as well as doing these lives and my newsletters and stuff. So make sure you check that out. Okay, so let's go to the chat room really quick. And oh wow, you guys have been chatty. Linda says, Daisy and I are present and accounted for with a button smash. Yes, everybody make sure you hit that thumbs up button as well. And Charlene, you're going out to appointment. Okay, well, Charlene, I want to say hi. So when you're watching after the fact, you can know that I saw you. And thank you for praying for me. I appreciate that. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit too. And Linda says, you have any friends, please smash that thumbs up button. Yes, please do that. I would really, really appreciate it. My YouTube channel is starting to grow a little bit. I'm still not at quite where the my Rumble numbers are. I have over 400 followers on Rumble, but I have like 388 or something at last check here. I didn't look this morning to see if anybody had added on, but please do, because I'm going to be doing more on YouTube. Everything I do on YouTube will automatically be uploaded to Rumble, but I'm going to be focusing on YouTube right now. So if you are not on YouTube, make sure you check it out and smash that button. I know a lot of people are not thrilled with YouTube, and that's why I do have Rumble, but it's not going to be as clean to find things on Rumble. So just wanted to let you guys know. Let's see. Laura's here. Good morning, Laura. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. And Stephanie in Texas is here. Good morning, Stephanie. I'm glad you're here. And Renee is here. Good morning, Renee. Good to see you. And I just want to make sure. Let's see. Suzanne, the Swedish Yarny Hooker. Hello. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. I don't think, have you watched before? I don't recognize your name. But I'm glad you're here if you're here. And Kelly is here. Good morning. And Laura says, quite a few of my friends are moving away from YouTube. I know a lot of people are. I'm not a huge fan of YouTube either. Myself, like I said, there are some practices that they have that I don't necessarily agree with. But what I'm finding is that when it comes to being able to easily make the channel look good and be able, so like if I'm going to be starting to do videos for some of my patterns that are being released, and you'll be able to find them easier. You don't have to scroll through a bunch of stuff. So I understand that, Laura, completely. I understand why people are doing things. I just want to be able to have a spot where people can go, and if they want to find out about Queen of Hearts, my shawl Queen of Hearts, and all of because I've done 4 videos for Queen of Hearts, I can put them now in their own playlist and that kind of thing. So that's what I'm doing. Teresa, you're not late. Good morning. I'm glad you're here. It's good to see you here. And Sharon, yay! I'm so glad you're here. You're quilting. Oh, how fun. I'm so excited that you're quilting while you're doing this, and you can watch. I'm glad you're here. And is there anybody else here in the chat? Oh, awesome. Okay. So if anybody, and Dawn popped in too. I didn't see Dawn pop in. Hello, Dawn. Good to see you. Wow, I've got a lot of you here today. Is this a better time for most of you? I'm just curious because I can switch to 10 a.m. if 10 is better for most of you rather than 9. So, and this is Pacific time. Remember, I know that a lot of you are not or I think most of you, I don't think any of you here that are here right now are in the Pacific time zone. But let me know if you want me to pop it up an hour, because I can. That's not an issue for me. So, okay. So, first of all, Charlene mentioned up earlier that she was praying for me. And I know a lot of you are probably wondering how and Linda says she likes the present time slot, but she's flexible. Okay. If you guys find that you would rather see me go on an hour later, let me know. And just, you can shoot me an email. Just go to KarenHooley.com and use my contact form to shoot me an email and let me know. But I'm planning to stay at 9 unless I get a lot overwhelming thing that everybody would rather me go an hour later. But anyway, so I know a lot of you have been waiting to hear how my first round of my treatment went last week. And Thursday at 8 a.m. I had the treatment done. And the first day was hard. It's always hard, but it was easier than I thought it was going to be. And I don't know if I had built it up again in my mind. And I know that I do that a lot. Today I am kind of having a little bit of discomfort, but tomorrow I go in at 9:30 a.m. and they had to switch my time. So I'm going in at 9:30 tomorrow to get the second round of the treatment. And then next week will be the last one for this quarter. And I think that one's actually even later. They had to switch some times around because one of the girls left and they hired 2 new people and they're trying to readjust the schedule. So at least they didn't move my days like they did originally. But I'm really grateful that, I'm in it and everything's going well so far. I'm just really tired. So if I look like I'm a little pale, I feel like just looking at me on the camera that I am a little pale. I didn't get to put makeup on this morning. So I am, but I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, like I said, today it's a little painful, but it's not too bad. So thank you everyone who's been praying for me. I appreciate it. I can't tell you that it's the prayers that have gotten me through this cancer diagnosis. And once I do next week's treatment, I have one more round of treatment that I'm thinking is going to be either May or June. And then I should be done. I should be done and I should be getting the all clear for the because everything's been clear so far. So, and I've been really good in doing everything the doctor wants me to. So, so I'm doing okay. I mean, other than being tired and a little bit of brain fog. My tech editor, she's doing 2 patterns for me, and I confused the 2 earlier this week. And fortunately, she understands. But yeah, brain fog is a real thing with this. Let's see. Teresa says, either time works for me. I'm at work. Oh, that's right. I forgot that. Karen, you're looking great. So, well, thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the prayers, guys, and the thoughts. I honestly, I can feel them. I know a lot of people think that's a cliche, but it's true. When people are praying for me, I don't know. I can feel it. I can feel it, especially when I first got the diagnosis and my family and my close friends were all praying for me. It was like they got me through those first few weeks, even before the treatment started. So I appreciate that. Laura, thank you so much. I appreciate the prayers and stuff. Linda says, someone gave me a bag of Sail yarn and some of it was rolled around and squashed in a squashed Kleenex box. I entangle it and I'm reskinning it to give to charity. That should help with the yarn stash. There you go. There you go. Sail yarn. That hasn't been around for like 15, 20 years. That's crazy. I mean, wow. And Linda says she's been praying for me every day. Thank you. I appreciate that the beads are rattling. My beads have been rattling too. So yes, I appreciate it. Okay, so, and I forgot to bring my socks upstairs again. Darn it. You guys remember I was working on some knit socks that were in a fall colorway self-striping yarn. And I got the first one done. And the second one, I am just past where the heel is supposed to be because I do the afterthought heels on my knit socks. And I'm hoping that maybe tonight I'll finish while I'm watching television or sitting and chatting with my husband, that I will finish at least the toe up to through the toe of the sock, because I don't have that many rows before I start decreasing for the toe, and then add the heel. So I'm hoping next week I will remember to have the socks available to show you guys that I finished a pair of socks, or at least one sock. So I'm past the one sock syndrome part. But I'm not one of those people who has one sock syndrome. So I'm very good with my socks that way. I mean, both crochet and knit socks, I tend to be the one who, I'll do one and then I'll immediately launch into the second one. I don't like 2 at a time socks in knitting. I can do 2 at a time crochet because I'll do, especially with toe up socks, I'll split the hank in half and I'll do the toe of one and then the toe of the other to make sure that the gauge matches. Because sometimes I'm one of those people that can work one sock and the gauge is dead on, and then I'll do the second sock and the second sock is usually off, but either too loose or too tight. I do that all the time. So that's why with crochet especially, I like to do 2 at a time. But with knitting, I don't seem to have that problem. So there we go. You guys are chatty. The giver of the sale bought it for a baby blanket that she didn't finish, and that baby is in his late 40s now. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Linda. Wow. She's had that a long time. Oh wow, Sail. I haven't used Sail since I was a teenager, I think. Maybe take that back. I'm trying to remember. No, because I use Red Heart for my daughter's baby blanket. She's 23. And my sons, I use Karen. No, not Karen. I use Bernat. So yeah, no, I haven't used Sail probably since I was in high school, or maybe college. But that was the 80s. Wow. So that'll tell you something. Let's see. Teresa says, my daughter wants some new socks, but they are not my favorite to knit. See, for me, I mean, it depends on what you're knitting with socks. For me, I love the vanilla sock patterns, just garter, just knit stitch round and round and round and round. I use magic loop, but I'm thinking about getting a set of, or a circular 9-inch needles and try that just because I like magic loop, but sometimes those long loops that happen with the magic loop get in my way. I always try to loosen up my cables. I always dip them in hot water to loosen them up and get the kinks out. But inevitably when I'm knitting socks, and it just seems with socks only that those start to kink up again on me. So that's an issue for me. Let's see. Premier has some new adorable yarns for socks, hats that have fruit-like theme. Oh, I'll have to look. In fact, Premier is part of Universal Yarns, and I do have some things from Universal I want to show you guys. So stay tuned. I'm so excited that they have some. I'll have to look. I have been so bad at looking at some of the bigger yarn companies. I've been working with dyers for so long that I forget about the larger companies. But something came up last week or the week before last, and I ended up talking to Universal about them. And so stay tuned. I've got some stuff to show you. I should have said late 30s or early 40s. Don't want to make him older than he is. Well, still, I mean, late 30s. I mean, I graduated high school in 85. So that's what, 35 years now, 36 years, 30. Yeah, it'll be 37 years this summer or this June that I've graduated from high school. So it's a long time. That's a long, long time. Okay, so let's talk about what's new in the studio, guys. First thing I want to show you is I got a new book. I don't have a link because this is a really hard to find book. This is called Designing Knitwear. It's by Deborah Newton, and this I happened to get it used, but it's almost in brand new condition on Amazon, and I got it actually at a very decent price. This one was published in 1998, so this is as old as my daughter. My daughter was born in 98. And I'm taking a class, and Sharon is in my class actually, on grading sweaters and using a spreadsheet to grade sweaters. And I showed you the other book that I got last time. This is another one I got. I thought I had this one and I didn't. So I bought it because I really wanted to get some good books on shaping for both knit and crochet, because my daughter and I both are on the short side, and we are both very short-waisted, and we both have larger chests. And we have a hard time finding sweaters that fit us properly. And, and even when I knit a sweater from a pattern or crochet a sweater from someone else's pattern, not mine, because I can adjust my own. But learning to adjust things from a pattern is something that is difficult for me to begin with. But then I want to be able to do better sizing for all my patterns. Excuse me. Oh, this is the other side effect of my treatments, guys, is it kicks in my allergic response. So because it kicks my immune system in, and then I start sneezing. I started sneezing last night, so I apologize. I'm not sick. It's just, okay. Anyway. So I want to be able to size sweaters better. And I've taken this class before, and I think Sharon heard me say that on my class, in the class. I've taken it, but there's some things that she's added to the class that make more sense now to me. And then also she's talking about grading in a different way than she did the first time I took the class. And it's all coming together so I can get armholes that fit properly. I don't have to always do drop sleeves, that kind of thing. So that's why I bought this book, because it was another book that was recommended. And I thought I had it, but I don't. The third book that everybody recommends is Shirley Patton's Designing Knitwear. And that I know I have because I've got it right there. I didn't pull it out because it's not new, but I could have sworn I bought this, and then maybe I did and it got lost in the move, but I've got it again. So there you go. So anyway, it's Designing Knitwear. And what I like about it is that even though it's an older book, she's got a lot of, and this is good for even the average crocheter who wants to start crocheting sweaters and garments and stuff. It's got schematics with information about how different things work. She talks about how to shape things and stuff like that. So if you're interested in not necessarily designing a sweater, but crocheting a sweater for yourself, and you see a pattern you like, but it's certain things just don't fit right, because not everybody is a perfect 36, 24, 36, like they used to say back in the 70s and 80s. Everybody, you know, my hips are wider than my chest. You know, and I do have a waist on top of it all, but trying to get from, you know, especially if you're doing a bottom-up sweater, from my hips to my bust line alone, and just knowing that, you know, maybe my bust is a, you know, is a 50 inch. I'm knitting up or crocheting up the 50 inch, but my hips are, you know, a 54 or 56. How to get from here to here gracefully. Getting books like this are a good thing to have. I have yet to find one for crochet. And they're all designing knitting and, you know, a sweater design in plain English by Maggie Rigetti it's mostly knit centric, but you can apply everything to crochet. And the same thing here with this one, you can apply to crochet. So the numbers work out the same. It's just how you go about it. It's different because you're crocheting versus knitting. So there you go. I'm going to take this off my screen. Oh, Linda, thank you. God bless you. Thank you. Is that new book? This one? Sharon, this is knitting. This one is definitely knitting. Let me show you what I've got here. I also have Lily Chin's Couture Crochet, and that's probably the only crochet book that's close to being what one of these is, but it's not quite the same. This is Sweater Design in Plain English by Maggie Rigetti. This is the one I showed you guys a couple weeks ago that actually Lily got a little defensive with me about. And then this is Knitwear Design Workshop by Shirley Patton. This is a great book. I got it when it first came out. It's in this hardcover spiral bound thing. I don't know if it still comes this way, but this is another one that's really great as well. But again, they're knit centric. It all says, a lot of people think when they say knitwear that it includes crochet, and it probably does, but crocheters don't always know that. So I want to just make sure that you guys know that that is something that is out there. And if you're interested in making sweaters, don't fall. There we go. If you're interested in making sweaters, that's something you guys can do. I just had to get those off my desk because I can't do what I need to do with them there. Okay, so that's the first thing that's new. And the second thing is, I mentioned earlier that I talked to Universal. And one of the things is that I want to do is, because I'm taking the sweater class, I want to design a few more sweaters. And there's a yarn in my stash that's no longer available from Universal, but I had contacted them to see if they still carried it, because I wanted to do some stuff with that yarn, but they don't. But in talking to them, they sent me a bag that was supposed to be here last week, and it wasn't. And I think I mentioned that to you guys. But I told them that I would do an unboxing on my live. So I did open it so that because I knew I could feel that they had something in there, and they just sent me a note telling me that, enjoy the yarns and let them know if I'm going to want to use one of these. But they sent me, and I haven't looked at them yet, but they sent me this little thing of yarn, and this is still taped together. So I'm going to untape it here or tear it. It's all wrapped in tissue. And these colors are amazing. Okay, hold on. Let me, they're in plastic, so hang on. Okay, so the first one, this is called Truva. It's 50 cashmere and 50 cotton. And it is, I would say this is a sport DK weight because they recommend using an eye hook, a 7 to an eye. So 4.5 to 5.5 millimeter hook. Oh my gosh, guys, this is soft. I'm going to put it up close. This is one of their new yarns. I was looking at their website. I don't know if you guys can see the way the light is hitting it. You can't read the label, but it's called Truva, Truva. And I'm going to put up their website so that you can look it up. And that's Universal Yarns website. Oh gosh, that's gorgeous. This would make a really pretty cardigan that with a marled. Oh, but it's so soft. That cashmere, 50% cashmere. Okay, now I have to go to their website and see how much this is a ball. Hang on a second, guys. I'm going to pull up Universal. Hang on. Because you can buy the yarn directly from them. You don't have to go to a yarn shop. I mean, I know a lot of local yarn shops carry Universal yarn. So give me a sec here. I'm in the D's. Oh my gosh, this is so soft though. I can't stop petting it with my fingers. It's gorgeous. True. Okay, so this is $30 a ball. Truva. It's from Italy. 50-50 cashmere cotton, heathered and marled in appearance. And they have, let's see, how many colors do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4. They have 8 colors right now. I mean, this is a brand new yarn, but this is one of them. This one's called, it's color Sandcastle. So this one's a very, I just think that's a really good neutral for like a cardigan. I've already got an idea for this. I might be swatching later. So this is Truva. I'm going to go back to, I know that you guys are posting things. So, or I thought I saw some before I switched over. Yeah, I saw a couple comments. I'll come back to the comments here. Oh, the spiral bound book, Renee, is called Knitting Design Workshop by Shirley Padden. That's the third one. Okay, so second yarn is called Magnolia. Look at that yellow. This is the colorway Limoncello. So another Italian yarn. Universal is known for getting a lot of their yarns in Italy, which is near and dear to my heart. Now this is Magnolia. So let me find out how much this one is. This one though is 95 modal and 5% cashmere. So this has got cashmere in it. This is going to be a fingering weight for sure. I mean, they recommend a size 2.25 to 3.5. So this is fingering. I would say from between a light and a regular fingering. It's so soft too. This one, I should have mentioned. Okay, on the Truva, it's this is a 1.75 ounce or 60 gram ball, and it has 164 yards of yarn in it. So to make a sweater, this is going to be a little pricey because usually it depends on the size, sleeves, and if it's a, hip length or if it's a cropped, it's going to, it's going to change the amount of yarn. But at $30 a ball, it might be a little pricey. But if you really want a really nice garment, this and want something that's lightweight, because this is really light. For the yardage, it's really light. But the cashmere and the cotton, and I like cotton for garments too, because they keeps you cooler, especially at my age where you start having the hot flashes and stuff. And even with my cancer treatments, having the the hot flashes I get from those. But Magnolia is made, I told you, modal and cashmere. This is 3.5 ounce, 100 grams, 361 yards, super fine. She calls it super fine. They call it super fine. Let me see if I can find the cost on this one. This is really a smooth, and I don't know if you guys can see it on camera. I'm going to try to lower this light for a second here. Hang on, guys. I'm playing with my light, so if my lighting looks weird, you know why. There we go. That's what I want. Okay. But it's got a sheen to it. Can you see the sheen? There's a little bit of light coming from my window that's making it not shine as much. But yeah, this Magnolia. So this is Magnolia, and it costs, this is $17 a hank. So this one is actually probably a little more cost effective. It doesn't have cotton in it, but the modal in it is going to make it a little softer and lighter weight. I like it. I could see garments out of this. I could see shawls out of this. This is really nice. I'll let you know when I start swatching with these how they feel on the crochet hook. But this one doesn't have, well, this one has a good twist on it. Let me see what the Universal Talks says about it. It's a fingering weight modal and cashmere, biodegradable. It's soft, sturdy fiber, provides Magnolia with a beautiful sheen and incredible drape. I can tell this is going to have good drape. The cashmere makes it a little lavish. Smooth construction. Yep, it's definitely smooth. It's a nice round yarn. I wouldn't say it's super tight twist, but I think it's tight enough that crocheters won't have too much of an issue with it. It says use it for warm weather garments and accessories. It's our new summer favorite. It's really soft. I think this would be great for a summer sweater. In fact, I have an idea what this color is spurring on a summer sweater. So you never know. You never know what's going to happen with me and yarns. Okay, and so the third one is called Vero. Hang on a second. Let me pull it up first, and then I will Vero. Here we go. Okay, so this is Vero. This is the color Orchid Rush, which is perfect for the name of this, or for the color this is. This is 80% tencel and 20% wool. So this has got a little wool. So if you're allergic to wool, this might not be, and even the cashmeres might be a little tough on you. But it's really soft. The tencel is going to give it a sheen. They call this a medium. So I'm going to say sport weight. And they're asking for an H to a J crochet hook on this one, which is interesting because this is not as thick as I would call worsted, but it might be. I don't know if you guys can see that across my finger. And I would call this a very light worsted. So I would go more toward the DK end than I would worsted, but you know, every company has their own things. This is 3.5 ounces, 100 grams, 206 yards for $16. So this one again is going to be a little more cost effective than the first one I showed you. There's 16 colors. It's very springy. They do say it's springy. And it's got really good twist on it. This one's a little tighter than the Magnolia. But I still say it's more on the DK weight. It might even be closer to a heavy fingering, in my opinion. This is just the way because I don't always, when I'm reading labels on the yarns, I don't, especially for crochet. For knitting, it's a totally different thing. But for crochet, sometimes the yarn companies, and I'm not saying that Universal is doing this, but to me, H would be okay with this, but J seems awfully big. It's going to have some big holes, and it's going to give you some interesting things. So I don't always go by what the hook sizes that they give. I kind of sometimes look towards what the knitting gauge is on it, because you can go by the knitting gauge a little bit to pick a hook. And then also, I usually tend to want to go up or down depending on the fiber that content in it. And it's hard to explain how I do this. And sometimes I just have to swatch. I think I want to go down, and a lot of times I'm right. And sometimes I want to go up, and I end up being right that way too. But the thing with these different yarns is I don't always trust what's on the label. So what I trust more is the knitting gauge, and then just playing with the yarn. That's why I always like to get a sample. If I'm coming up with a project that I want to make, or like I'm using someone else's pattern, I will always buy an extra ball to swatch with first before I buy the whole amount of yarn, because when I'm designing, I need to figure out how much yarn I use. But to have yarns that are new to me, that I've never used, and new on the market even, I will only trust my swatches. I never worry about what's on the label, because a lot of times your vision and the yarn are not going to fit with what they have on the labels. Does that make sense? Okay. Laura says limoncello. Yep, limoncello is amazing stuff, especially over. I know this summer I want to make some. I'm hoping. I haven't made it in a lot of years. My nonna used to make it, so I want to do that this year. So hopefully I'll get to. I love limoncello. So anyway, so these are the 3 yarns from Universal. Do any of them grab you at all, guys? I mean, cashmere, what's not to love about cashmere? I mean, as long as you're not allergic to it. These 2 have cashmere. This one, I really have some ideas already for this one, and in this colorway, because she said she was going to send them to me, and I said, just send any color but black. Black's the only color I don't want to swatch with. I love this yarn. I know it's an expensive yarn, but this might be worth it to make something in my size and then grade it to all the different sizes. This is just really soft. So the Magnolia is very lovely. Yes, I love the sheen on it. You guys kind of can see it when it's back here. Can you guys see here how it's a little shinier? It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Linda says, my aunt asked me to make her a hat that ties under the chin like her girls used to wear. I found a knitting pattern that would be too time consuming, so I wrote the pattern. Oh, very cool. See, this is what I like to hear. I like to hear people doing things that are, reconstructing something that it's too difficult or too time consuming. Change it to crochet and make it in crochet. I love hearing those stories, even with my own patterns. I mean, I know that a lot of people will buy my patterns and then stripe it. And I might have it in a solid because it's easier to see or photograph or whatever. And they stripe them or they use different yarns. And I love that. So that's good to hear, Linda. Let's see, I've got some comment here. I do like the Magnolia. I should have it. Yeah, it's really, I can't wait to swatch this one too. It's a little tighter twist than the Vero. And the Vero, when you look at it, you can see, I mean, when you really look at it close, you can see the twist. But if you've got it a little farther away, it almost looks like a 1-ply, but it's not. I don't know if it's like 6 plies or 8 plies. I can't tell. But it's a little looser ply than the Magnolia. The Magnolia, I think, is a really, what did I say it was? Per hank, was I say it was like 17? I think I said it was 19. or A17. The price point on it is really, really good. $17 a hank for how many yards? 361. So it's a little smaller than most true fingering weight that you get from like the hand dyers. It's a little heavier. Oh no, wait, I said that 216. This is 3. This is about right on par with regular fingering weight. So, but for $17 for cashmere and modal, that's actually really good. So, and this one's from no, this one's made in Turkey. This one's made in Turkey, but this one's made in Italy. So this is the Italian one. I think, yeah, made in Italy. So those are the two countries Universal usually buys from. And Universal is part of the same family that Premier is part of. And if you've ever heard of Willow Yarns is also part of the Universal family of yarns. So all of those yarns come from the same general company. I mean, they're just different divisions. So, but these are awesome. I love them. I can't wait to, I'm going to be swatching. I mean, probably tomorrow, I might even wind these up, or at least cake up the Magnolia. I think the Vero I can work right from the ball. But the other two, or the Magnolia, I have to wind into a cake. And I might just swatch tomorrow while I'm recovering from my treatments. That might be an option. So what do you guys think? You guys think those would be something that you'd like to see worked up in other yarns? Magnolia, I forgot. Magnolia comes in 16 colors. No, Magnolia comes in 4, 8, 12, 14 colors. Magnolia comes in 14 colors. Vero comes in 16 colors. And then, did I say 8 for this one? The Truba. This is so soft. I wish I could, I can't even tell you how soft this is. Out of all of them, if I was going sheerly on cushiness and softness, this would be it. This is like, I wish I could send it through there for you. Have you tried Circulo? I have never even heard of this yarn. Cottons and their customer service. I'll have to look for them. I've never heard of them, Laura. That's something. Okay, let me write that down. Circulo yarns. Okay, I've never even heard of them, so that's good to know. Good to know. Teresa's going to order some of the Magnolia. Yay, good. Modal is a synthetic fiber. I don't know that they say, let me look it up. Let me see if I can find out what it is exactly. I know it's a synthetic fiber. I just don't know what it's a semi-synthetic fiber. It's a cotton alternative used to manufacture pajamas, bathrobes, underwear, bed sheets. It's a form of rayon. It's an upgrade to viscose, which is rayon. It goes through an additional process that makes it somewhat stronger than traditional rayon, which that's a good thing. It's breathable, silky smooth. I'm trying to see if it's vastly produced in China. Some of it's made in Japan. It's a cellulose fiber. I'm trying to think. They use cellulose from beech trees. So it's got wood in it. The wood fibers are pulped into liquid and then forced through tiny holes, creating the thread. And then the thread is warmed together to make the modal fabric, which is maybe used. Okay. So that's what it is. It's the cellulose coming from a beech tree. So there you go. Renee says, I like Premier's Cotton Fairy yarn. Yes, that's a great yarn as well. I do like Premier's got some really great yarns. If you've ever seen my book, gosh, now I'm losing my train of thought. I can't believe I'm crocheting socks from Leisure Arts. I used primarily Premier yarns, and there are a couple of Bernat, I believe. Bernat or Peyton's, I can't remember. One of those two. I always think of those as the same company, even though they're they are, but they're not. But I did use a lot of Premier in that book. They're sock yarn. But yeah, Premier's got some really great yarns. And they are all beautiful. They really are. They really, really are. And I'm going to be writing to Rachel later today and let her know that this video went live, and or that I unboxed them live, and that they can come back and watch them. But I'm going to tell her that they're just absolutely fabulous. I can't wait to swatch. I honestly can't. Okay, so we talked about that. I wanted to tell you guys too, if you are not part of my newsletter, this is National Crochet or International Crochet Month. A lot of people call it Craft Month, but it's always started with crochet, so I always call it International Crochet Month, because it used to be National Crochet Month, but because the crochet world is international, I think we should call it international. So whether that's right or wrong, I'm going to call it International Crochet Month. Because with International Crochet Month, I got a couple things going on. First thing is I'm going to be doing a giveaway every single week. And this will be in the show notes, so don't worry about it if you don't want to write it down. But I have a giveaway this week. I'm giving away a copy of my book, A Garden of Shawls, which I don't have on my desk right now. It's the very first book I self-published. Well, second self-published book, but the very first one in this recent rash of books that I've self-published. It was self-published in 2016, and it still continues to be my best-selling book. I have it on Amazon and Apple and all the online booksellers, as well as in my shop. And regardless of where it sells, it's always the number one of every single month. So I'm giving away a copy. If you are in the United States, I will send you a physical copy of the book with a download code so that you can get it digitally as well. If you are outside of the United States, shipping is horrendous. So I am going to send you a download code only for the giveaway. But it's open to everywhere, everyone, everywhere, anywhere that's not prohibited to have a giveaway. Which I don't know if there's any place anymore. I'm sure there must be, but because that would have been taken away if it's not. But anyway, so I know people have already started entering. Those of you who are on my newsletter, if you didn't see that, make sure you hit the link. There's a link in the newsletter to the form to enter and to win. And it closes on Monday the 7th at midnight. And then when I get into my office that Monday morning, I will pick the winner and contact the winner. And then on Tuesday, as long as I get a hold of the winner, because if I don't get a hold of the winner the first day, I won't announce, and because I might have to redraw. But then on the 8th will be the next drawing, and I will talk about that one when time comes. But just so you guys know, if you don't have my book, A Garden of Shawls, this is a good chance to try to win it. So make sure you check that out. So that's definitely happening this month. And then on Tuesday with my newsletter. So if you're not a newsletter subscriber, I highly recommend, because they're going to be the first ones to be able to get there first, is I'm having my yarn stash sale. I went through my stash. Those of you who've been following me for a while know that everything behind me is pretty empty, except for a few cubbies. Those extra yarns, I sent my sister-in-law a huge garbage bag of leftovers and some partial skeins, leftovers, and mostly acrylics and a few cottons and stuff that were on cones to her school for craft projects. But then I had all this other yarn that was cashmeres and cottons and that I bought years ago, and either for a project that never happened and I just don't know what to do with it anymore. It's not making me happy anymore. Or I have yarns left over from projects where I overbought the yarn. So maybe instead of 5 skeins, I only used 4. And so I had this extra skein that's never been wound or anything hanked up. So I'm slowly getting those put together and on my shopping cart. And on Tuesday, it will launch. So, and I'm pricing all those yarns at 40 to 50% of what I actually paid. So if it was a $20 hank of yarn, I'm either, depending on what the fiber is and how long ago I bought it, it could be $9 or $10 for the hank. It's rather than the full 20. So I've got a lot of fingering. You guys know fingering's my sweet spot, but I do have some lace in there. I do have some DK in there, and I do have, I think, 1 or 2 worsteds that are in that. So most of them are single hanks of, a hank of a single color. There's a couple bases that I have multiple colors in the same base. And what I've decided to do is just put, so like the name of the company and the base that I'm using, and then you can pick which colorway you want. You can buy both if you want, and that's not a problem. But you have to put them one at a time in your cart in that respect. Because I have a cashmere merino that I have a blue and a purple, and so if you want just one, you can pick the color. If you want them both, just put them both in your cart. But then I do have a couple yarns that I'm selling as a set, because it doesn't make sense to sell them by themselves, because there's really either not enough yardage to do anything with just one ball, or they're such an interesting blend that you don't want to just buy one. You're going to want the whole set to be able to do something with. So those are going to be like that. So I just want to let you know that's coming Tuesday. It's going to launch. So that is something I wanted to make sure you guys knew as well. Linda says, you will be getting a photo of my finally blocked tote. Yay. Awesome. I can't wait to see it. And Laura, I'll check out. Yeah, I'm going to check out that yarn too. That's an interesting yarn to think about. Okay, so talked about that. Talked about the yarn. It's been a really crazy week. Honestly, with my treatments, it always makes things a little crazy. I'm trying to think, what else have I done this week? I blocked the project you guys saw yesterday or last week. So that is happening. It's on the blocking board. You probably won't see that again until it's released. I talked about, I'm not going to be on social media at all, other than these YouTube lives, uploading video, and my newsletters, obviously. I don't know why they consider newsletters social media, because it's really not, but most people umbrella them all in the same thing when you start reading about it. So I'm not going to stop these YouTube lives. Next week is my final class on that sweater grading. So I am only going to be about a half hour, 45 minutes, because I do have to jump into class immediately afterwards. But that's the last one. And then, yesterday, I forgot about this. I knew it was something I was forgetting. Yesterday, I interviewed Maria Tuscan of Tuscan Knits, who is the dyer for for February's Adorn shawl, if you're part of the Pattern Club, and March's pattern, which will be released on the 14th. So if you're looking for that pattern, it'll be released the 14th. I did an interview with her. I need to edit the video, but that's the video that's going to be going live. It won't be going on YouTube until I release both patterns, or right before I release the second pattern to the public, which will probably be sometime in May or June. April, January's Elementary is going to be released. And then in May, Adorn will be released. And in June, the March pattern will be released. So sometime between May and June, I will put that video on YouTube. But for right now, it's only going to be for Pattern Club members. So, but I really had a really great chat with Maria Tuscan, and she's got some exciting things happening. She tells us about her dye process. She tells us about how she got started, whole bunch of different things. So I'm really excited for you guys to watch it. I'm hoping to get it edited today so that I can put it in on Monday. I don't want to do it until before Monday or Tuesday. So be watching for that. I'm also hopefully going to be filming another video today or not tomorrow, but today or Friday for St. Patrick's Day. So that will be going on YouTube. That's the one I'm thinking is going to go next week on YouTube. It's a really simple little pattern, but it's enough to, it's something that I can do on a video without a whole lot of text or charts or anything. So be watching for that. And I'm also working on another video for a simple beginner's project, but I think it's such a cool little project that even the most advanced crocheters will like it. So I mean, I like it because I make them all the time. So and it's something I haven't really shown in a long time. It's just something I do behind the scenes as gifts and stuff like that. So that'll be happening. Let's see. Teresa says, I'm excited for the new pattern. Yay, I am too. I'm excited. It's another one of Maria's bases, and it's gorgeous. The color I'm using is gorgeous. But one of the things too, for those of you that are part of the Pattern Club, she did tell me yesterday, I'm going to let you guys know now. If you go to her website, which is TuscanKnits.com, and if you don't see the colorway that you want, so like if you wanted to make Adorn in the same color, which is Love Struck Baby, if you want to make it that same color, you can send her an email and ask her if she is planning to dye or is going, or if you can order, dye, custom order. And she doesn't charge you any more to do it, but she's going to start doing her ordering as you custom order. You pick the base, you pick the color, and she'll dye that way. And she'll talk about that in the video. So be sure to watch for that. The April-May pattern is also by a dyer, the same dyer. She does not like going on video, so I'm going to have her do a written interview that I will first post in the group, and then when her patterns are released, I will put it on my blog, just so you guys know. And also the video with Maria from yesterday will also go on my blog when I release patterns to the public. So there's that. So I've still got a few more minutes. So does anybody have anything you want to talk about or ask me about or you've seen? Social media is going to be really quiet. So I am going to be posting. I've just got an influx of pictures from people. So I am going to like pre-schedule all those photos from customers who have bought my patterns and made my patterns. So you'll see stuff like that happening. And then I'm releasing a pattern on the 22nd of March. So you'll be seeing information about that on social media. But other than that, I will not be physically present on social media. So this is the time right now to chat with me about anything. So, and then also I do want to let you know, as part of the Pattern Club, when I relaunch it as a full-blown membership site, I am going to do a once a month Zoom call where it's just kind of sit and crochet and chat. It doesn't have to be on the pattern necessarily. It can just be, just to get to know people and in the group and stuff like that. So that's something that's happening. Laura Shelton, I forgot to post a picture of my bag, but it came out beautifully. Oh, no problem. Laura, if you want me to share a photo of your bag, or if you want to share a photo with me and I don't have to share it on social media, just send me a picture. I'd love to see it. Even if you don't want me to share it with anybody, but I'd love to see it because that's really important as part of letting people see that you don't have to make my patterns just the way I make them. So, and a lot of people, I mean, Laura, you probably see this in the yarn shop. I know Kelly, if Kelly's still here working in a yarn shop, you have people come in. I know when I was working for the yarn shop over on the West Side, people would come in and they have this red sweater pattern and they have to make it in that yarn in that color, and they cannot see outside of that yarn in that color. So by posting these pictures, I really hope people will start sharing, will start realizing they can do, they may not like blue, they may like red and they can do it in red, or they don't like gray, but they like orange. They can make it in orange, that kind of thing. Linda says, I look forward to each new pattern. It's, oh, yay, I'm glad. And I'm finding some really cool ways of, you're still going to have to use a coupon code to download every pattern for the Pattern Club. But what I am doing is I found some ways so that only the Pattern Club people can see it. And then when it's ready to launch, it'll launch for everybody. So so that'll be, you'll find some, when I go to launch ambient, there might be a little bit of a difference. Nothing huge. It's just the way it's structured into my shopping cart. So Laura, I saw that one. Okay. Stephanie, I'm trying to decide between two colors for Adorn. We'll post them in the forum, Stephanie, and let us see what you're thinking about. At least this month our forum has been really quiet, and I really like it if people would start posting in there. So make sure that you post. And Kelly says, "Yep, yeah." I'm assuming that's about the color and the pattern and all that. Stephanie's soft pink with a brown or hot pink. Ooh, oh, you definitely need to post those in the forum and let us look, because oh my gosh, both of those would look amazing. I like the idea of the sparkle yarn, but I like pink and brown too. That's really cool. Better have enough color of the sample. But what happens when the yarn shop doesn't carry the brand and the yarn that was used in the sample? That's even worse, isn't it? Teresa said, I started Adorn with one color and it just wasn't working for me. That's, you know what, definitely that happens for all of us. I mean, I start a project and I think this is the color and it's not what I want, and then I change it and it's perfect. So a lot of time, and that's what happens with my stash too, is I buy yarns for something and I think it's the perfect color for, and it's not. So that's something that always happens. Stephanie says, I'll post them when I get home. Definitely do that. Definitely do that, because I'd like to see what you're even considering. Even once you decide, I mean, I still would love to see what you had considered as part of the package, or part of the process of getting that pattern done. Also, more need to post in the forum. Yes, I know. I agree. I've been checking it every day just to see. I don't have a whole lot to say myself about the patterns, so I haven't been posting much because I'm waiting for you guys to start the conversation, and then I can jump in. I don't want to just assume that somebody doesn't know this or that. I want to know what you want to talk about in there. So make sure you post. It's also a great way to get to know people. So make sure you do post in those forums. Well, guys, it's a little past 11 o'clock, so I should probably go. I'm starting my day late today. And I have a lot of things to get done today, especially with that video editing. So I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much for working with me these last few weeks, especially today with having to push the time I went live. But I appreciate it. And I appreciate all of you for popping in and saying hello and checking in and seeing what I'm doing, what I'm talking about, and things like that. So I'm gonna go. Have a blessed day. Have a happy International Crochet Month. Have a wonderful Ash Wednesday if you celebrate it all. And I will see you next week. Oh, Linda says one more thing. I haven't been on the forum because I've been so busy with work and a friend who is seriously ill. And that's fine. I mean, I know life gets in the way. So don't worry about that, Linda. That's okay. And Laura says, everyone a blessed day. I wish everyone a blessed day as well. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend. I will see you next Wednesday at 9 a.m. And again, remember that one will be like 30 minutes to 45 minutes at the most. So, and then we'll go back to our usually scheduled program after that, I promise. So take care. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.